Hey guys, Viper Strikes 38 here, and I'm gonna get right into it, guys. I'm here to give you my Monday Night Raw review for this week. And now, just to let you guys know, even though I'm doing a Monday Night Raw review this week, I'm not going to be watching Battleground this Sunday. I'm not really too interested in seeing Battleground this Sunday. It's pretty obvious that John Cena is gonna win, and there's just nothing really too exciting for me to watch for Battleground, really. But I will damn sure be watching SummerSlam. I want to see Brock Lesnar become the new champion and all that. So, just thought I would let you guys know that. But I still plan on making some other YouTube videos. Maybe doing a couple reviews, talking about wrestling. So, just to let you guys know about that. We start off Raw with John Cena and Roman Reigns saying how they need to work together against the Authority, blah, blah, blah. It was pretty boring. Then Dean Ambrose comes on the Titantron and tells them to stop being little girls and that they will kick the Authority's ass if they work together, instead of, yeah. And then Kane, Seth Rollins, and Randy Orton surprise attack Dean Ambrose and beat him down. And it was funny because after they beat him down, then Dean Ambrose says, "Is that all you guys got?" It was kind of funny. I mean, they were beating the hell out of Dean Ambrose, and he's just like, "Is that all you guys got?" And then Seth Rollins curb stomped Dean Ambrose in the head. So, pretty good segment to start off Raw. I really did not really care for the promos between John Cena and Roman Reigns. I was like, this is really boring to start off Raw. But then it got better after the brawl happened and they started to beat down Dean Ambrose. That was a good segment. The brawl, the promos, I really could give two shits for. So, yeah, and then next we had The Miz versus Sheamus, and The Miz won. A pretty good match to start off Raw. And, yeah, and I just gotta say, I'm not a fan of The Miz, but I think I would rather see him right now, the United States Champion, than Sheamus. Sheamus isn't really doing anything with the title, really, except just keeping it warm for somebody. So, I don't know if The Miz is going to win in the Battle Royal for the Intercontinental Championship or not, but he could become the United States Champion, and, yeah, so we'll just see where it goes with there, but a pretty good match to start off Raw. And then we had Dolph Ziggler versus Fandango, and Dolph Ziggler wins thanks to Layla and Summer Rae distracting Fandango again, which helped Dolph Ziggler won, and then Dolph Ziggler walked out of the ring with the two girls, which was pretty funny. And also on this Raw, besides the WWE Network that they like to continually shove down our throats, they also talked about how Bad News Barrett had to vacate the Intercontinental Championship due to injury, but that Bad News Barrett will be at Battleground, will be at Battleground to crown the new Intercontinental Champion. So I know Bad News Barrett will say we'll say, I'm afraid I've got some bad news to the new champion. Maybe he'll start a new feud and fight for the title. I don't know, but I'm interested though to see Bad News Barrett at Battleground. And then we had Eric Rowan and Luke Harper of the Wyatt family ambush the Usos during their entrance and beat them up. It was better than seeing them do a match again. I'll say that much. I mean, they've had a match 5 times on Raw, so it was kind of nice just to see this, I guess. So, yeah. And then next we had a detente, whatever the hell that means. I should look it up. Here, if I had my phone around, I could look it up. Here, let me look this shit up real quick. Because I don't know what the hell that means, guys. I don't know if you guys know. I know I don't know what the hell that means. Here, let's see. The easing of okay, this is what it says. Detente. The easing of hostility or strained relations, especially between countries. Okay, now I get it a little more. I mean, when they heard this, I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? Sorry. I'm no English professor or nothing like that. But either way, so they had a detente between Jack Swagger and Rusev, basically the USA versus Russia, and both Zeb Coulter and Lana were cutting good promos. Lana was the anti-America. She was getting real heat for being against America, and then Zeb Coulter was the American patriot standing up for America against the Russians. Good promos between the two of them. So yeah, Lana was getting heat and all that. And then Jack Swagger and Rusev had a good brawl. After their promos, and it looked like Rusev was about to beat Jack Swagger down when Jack Swagger put him in the ankle lock, which got a huge pop from the crowd. And this is like a mid-card feud, and the crowd is behind it, which I like. I like that this feud actually is going somewhere, and that people actually care about it. And I'm glad that the crowd's invested in it. Basically, it's USA versus Russia, and the crowd's really behind this feud, and I'm glad for that. So, yeah. And then next we had Rob Van Dam versus Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio wins by submission, and it looked like as if Rob Van Dam was not even trying to get to the ropes, which was really annoying. I just want to say I didn't care for this match, and I don't like how weak Rob Van Dam has been in his matches lately. He has just... I don't mind him jobbing to some of the wrestlers. That's kind of why he's there, but... just don't be such a weak. he's so weak right now. I haven't really liked his return as much. I wish the WWE would utilize him better. That's just my opinion. But they need to actually utilize Rob Van Dam better than just having him get his ass beat each week by somebody. So, yeah. And then we had, here's my question, because they kept on shoving the WWE Network down our throat. With a WWE Network special on CM Punk, and it wasn't really like a special, it's basically CM Punk's Best in the World DVD, which I got, but, with a WWE Network special on CM Punk, here's my question. Is CM Punk on good terms now with the WWE? Because before the WWE, after he walked out of the company, they never said a word about CM Punk. And now that he's on the WWE Network, and they're actually talking about him on Raw, is he on good terms with WWE? Is he going to return to the WWE and be with AJ? We don't know. But I'm curious, though, to see what happens. And then we had the Authority continue to torture Nikki Bella for Brie Bella quitting and slapping Stephanie McMahon last month at Payback. And so we had Nikki Bella versus Cameron and Alicia Fox. I don't think I even have to tell you guys who won. I think you guys can already guess who lost and who won. And now here's my question. Since the Authority is torturing and abusing Nikki Bella and abusing their power, you'd think John Cena would stand up against the Authority for that. You'd think John Cena would talk about that, say, leave my girlfriend alone. Since he is actually dating Nikki Bella in real life, then maybe they just don't want to bring that into this feud. I don't know. I'm just saying that it seems kind of odd to me that if John Cena's dating her, you'd think he would, stand up for her or something. But maybe they just don't want that part of their storyline or something. I don't know. And then we had Cesaro versus Big E. Big E won. Not really a good match. But the whole time they were talking about where was Paul Heyman. And I was wondering, where was Paul Heyman? And then I hear the announcers, Michael Cole, and them saying, oh, they saw him earlier on the show backstage, or oh, he was fired. And I was like, what the hell are you people talking about? Did Paul Heyman piss somebody off or something? So, yeah, and then we had Chris Jericho call out Bray Wyatt demanding answers. And Chris Jericho and Bray Wyatt cut promos. And basically Chris Jericho was talking about how he has done everything in the WWE. He's encountered all weird stuff, but that he's never encountered anybody like Bray Wyatt. Just stuff like that. And then, Bray Wyatt comes on the Titantron and says about how if he asks Chris Jericho if he remembers his childhood, which I thought was kind of weird, and just goes on this whole thing. I didn't really get his promo this time. For once, I did not really like Bray Wyatt's promo as much. Yeah, so they both cut promos, and then I wasn't really too interested in what they had to say. I really was not interested. And then Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family attack Chris Jericho from behind, and then he does Sister Abigail on Chris Jericho. Okay segment. I know Chris Jericho's not going to win at Battleground against the Wyatt family, or well, he shouldn't, but he might, since that Bray Wyatt got the upper hand. But it could be a good feud. I just didn't really care for this segment, and I really didn't care what they had to say for this, so they got to step it up a little. And then we had AJ versus Eva Marie, and Paige was on commentary, and AJ won by submission, And then she sat on the announcer's table, and then her and Paige were buddy-buddy. These two will have a title match at Battleground, so look forward to that, guys. And then we had Bo Dallas versus the Great Khali. Do I even need to go on? I don't even care to tell about it. And then in the backstage segments this week, basically Randy Orton and Kane were butting heads. They both do not like each other, blah, 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 blah. Then Seth Rollins is saying to the Authority about how he was the plan B if those two can't get along, and that he can cash in if either of them win the title and then win the title from them. And then Paul Heyman finally comes around and tells the Authority that if they don't like plan A or B, that there's always a plan C and just to contact him. So pretty much Paul Heyman, I think, was teasing Brock Lesnar's return. Eventually Brock Lesnar will return, but he was teasing it on Raw this week. And then we had Renee Young interview Ric Flair and ask him who he thinks will be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion at Battleground, and he said John Cena, of course. And, I mean, it was an okay segment. I mean, it was good to see Ric Flair on Raw, even though he might have been drunk again. We don't know. He could have been drunk again, but he seemed a little more toned down. He wasn't as crazy this week. But it was good seeing Ric Flair on Raw, even though it was kind of a pointless interview. But it was okay, I guess. I didn't really care for it as much, but then we had John Cena and Roman Reigns. Since that Dean Ambrose, he was supposed to be in the match, but since that he got beat down by Kane, Orton, and Rollins, he couldn't be in the match. He was in the hospital. They were sure milking that all it could be, but either way, Dean Ambrose couldn't be in the match because he was beat down. So they had John Cena and Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton, Kane, and Seth Rollins. The match ends in a DQ with John Cena and Roman Reigns winning, and it was an okay match and an okay ending to Raw. Basically, at the end of Raw, Roman Reigns accidentally hits his spear on John Cena, and then Randy Orton does an RKO to Kane, and then Roman Reigns gives Randy Orton a spear. Okay ending to Raw, I guess. The match was okay, too, but I mean, so. But all in all, for Raw this week, guys, Raw was okay. I mean, they did an okay job of most of their storylines, but it was not very exciting this week. It just was not very exciting. It was not a very exciting show, and it dragged. It kind of dragged in some points. So, Raw was okay, but it was just, like I said, just not very exciting, kind of dragged. So, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think of Raw this week. And subscribe, and peace out, guys.